G'day mate, 40 here. So for some reason the sound quality, as I understand it, is better on my iPhone than my iPhone. Who would have thought? So let's try things out here. So why are there so many intersex toilets in Sydney? Right? That's what I'm curious about. Like, there's a men's toilet, there's a ladies' toilet, and then there's an intersex toilet. Is there like a huge hidden trans community in Sydney that I don't know about it? Like, what's with all the intersex blues? I mean, I understand if you just want to provide one so that anyone can use it, but why do you have a bloke's loo, a ladies' loo, and then an intersex loo? Anyway, I just tried to read Alan Rusbridger's new book, News and How to Use It. Alan Rusbridger is a highly respected, long-time editor of the Guardian newspaper out of the United Kingdom. And this book is so deadly dull. I mean, I spent 20 minutes with it. I couldn't find one thing in it I didn't already know. It was deadly dull. And what killed me, it had such amazing plaudits on the back cover. Like all these people had said, oh, this is a fantastic book. This is an amazing book. Blessings to you, Elliot Blatt. So all these like really prestigious, high quality people are saying, oh, this new book by Alan Rusbridger, just an amazing book, News and How to Use It. What could be more important in this age of misinformation and disinformation? It was deadly dull. I didn't learn anything. It was just like an alphabetical list to topics on things like accuracy and climate change and and who can we trust? Can we trust the politicians? Well, maybe if you live in Germany or New Zealand, says Alan Rusbridger. So can you trust the scientists, or which scientists? Anyway, deadly dull, this new book by Alan Rusbridger, but it had all these highly esteemed reviews on the cover. I don't understand. Right. So I gave up on News and How to Use It by Alan Rusbridger, and I was just going through the stacks, and I picked up a book by Joe Queenan, One for the Books, and it was hilarious. It was just like a book-long description of all the books that he's read or not read or read partly, and it was hilarious. He talks about Daniel Deronda. He thinks that reading Daniel Deronda by George Eliot would be like visiting Buenos Aires, that there'd be some interesting bits, that it would be edifying, but not that important. And then he talks about the books he refuses to read. So he refuses to read any books about private school. He refuses to read any books about melancholy wasps. He's got like a whole list of categories of books that he won't read. I mean, I'm just finding myself like bursting out loud laughing. Look, I've been juicing for 8 days, losing weight and feeling great. Wow. Juicing for 8 days. What kind of juice, EB? And I will be the judge on whether or not you're looking great, so you'll have to send me a picture. But he talks about how bad books make you think. That when you read a great book, all your thinking is being done for you by the author. But when you read a bad book, you're always wondering, like, what horrific thing are you going to read next? So I like that bad books make you think more than good books. Oh, so many riches. And then he refuses to read any book that mentions the New York Yankees or the Dallas Cowboys or the Los Angeles Lakers. And he says these are horrible sporting franchises. And like any author who lauds them. Carrots, beets, celery, cilantro, lemon. Wow, that sounds really healthy, mate. So he says that editors have discouraged authors from mentioning these iconic sporting franchises because it will turn off most of the population who might otherwise read the book. And so he provides examples of books, like sections from famous books in the 18th, 19th century, where the author started off by saying some famous phrase, and then, but at least there are Lakers tickets still available. Oh, I was just killing myself. 40 ho, he was at a shul event, carrots, beans, celery, pomegranates, pears, lemons, lunch. Yeah, so going on the Jewish circuit. Oh, tops, mate, really tops. Lots of security. So about as much security maybe as you would at an American shul. So security is considerably up in Australia since 2001, 9/11. How much time do you spend wondering whether or not the Dallas defense can get the job done? Well, to be honest, Elliot, just between you and me, I am far more concerned about the Dallas Cowboy offense. What has happened to our running game, bro? Our running game's just disappeared the last 4 games. We've had no running game. I think we're averaging less than 4 yards per carry on the ground the past 4 years, man. The four games. So the defense is getting the job done, with the exception of that game against the Los Angeles Raiders on Thanksgiving, when the defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, kept them in man coverage, which makes you particularly susceptible to pass interference calls. And so we were killed, like way over 100 yards in pass interference calls for Thanksgiving's game against the Raiders. What a killer, losing that in overtime. All right, when you're in man coverage, you have to stick to the receiver. You're much more vulnerable to pass interference calls. Sound like that caller to talk radio insisted they had to run Zeke more. Well, Zeke's got a banged up knee. Zeke can't get it done. I think, is it Tony Pollard is clearly the better running back right now, far more elusive. He busted one for 58 yards against the New Orleans Saints Thursday night. Oh man, so the defense just don't lead them in man coverage so much, Dan Quinn. Bloody hell, they just got murdered man coverage against those speedy Las Vegas Raiders. Oi. So, okay, so Jewish life is different here. So almost all synagogues in Australia are Orthodox, and almost everyone who attends them is not Orthodox or is not Shomer Shabbat. So blaming the rest for your team losing is a sign of lack of connection to other people. I wasn't blaming the rest, I was blaming the defensive coordinator who kept them in man coverage. All right? Like, it was 3rd and 18. How many players in the Cowboys are named after Roman politicians? It was 3rd and 18 for the Las Vegas. Dan Quinn kept them in man coverage. Bloody hell. And Anthony Brown, the cornerback, got caught for his 4th major pass interference flag of the day. And that was enough to put the Raiders in field goal position. They won the game in overtime. But don't stick in man coverage when the receivers are so fast and you're getting murdered by pass interference calls. It's a shanda. But anyway, the Cowboys are 8-4, and they could very well get the number 2 seed in the NFC. So life is good. All right, so Jewish life here. So 90% of Jews in Sydney are not Shomer Shabbat. So you go to an Orthodox shul in Los Angeles, and hey, Luke, call Dan Patrick show. Tell him they need to run the damn ball. No, we can't get anything going. We don't need to run the damn ball. But what's happened to Dak Prescott? 1 pass good, 1 pass bad. He's off his game the last 4 games. Man, I mean, Dak was throwing the ball. What happened to Dak's deep ball? Dak was really throwing the ball. What's with all the overcast skies? It's only been overcast since I've been here. I missed the light in Southern California, okay? I missed the light in Southern California. It's been nothing but overcast skies since I've been here, except for when I was in Ulladulla. In Ulladulla, thank God, the sun came out, and we had some clear skies, and like we've had like 2 hours of blue skies and sunshine in Sydney since I've been here, like in 2.5 weeks. So that's a little discouraging. This is bloody summer. This is December, right? Sydney in December is not supposed to look like this, right? It is supposed to be sunny and blue skies, and it's overcast. It's rained every day, drizzled every day since I've been here. That's not what I signed up for. I came here to have a holiday in the middle of the summer and go to the beach. Oy. Okay, so yeah, so you go to Orthodox shul in Los Angeles, and depending on the shul, between 70 and 100% of the shul are at least outwardly Shomer Shabbat. All right. So probably the average for an Orthodox shul in Los Angeles is probably 70%, 75% of the congregation is outwardly Shomer Shabbat. And in Sydney, it's about 10%. So it's more challenging to be a frum Jew here. But you can certainly do it. And the burning heart of frum Jewry in Sydney is in Bondi. So we're walking around here in Randwick and Coogee. This is more the outskirts, the outback of Sydney's Orthodox Jewish community. So I think there are only a handful of non-Orthodox shuls in Sydney. I think Temple Emmanuel, the Reformed Temple, is the biggest non-Orthodox shul, but almost all the shuls are Orthodox and almost all the congregants are not Orthodox. So people come to shul here much more to see their mates than to talk to God. So Jewish observance is more relaxed here, and yeah, there's a great feeling of mateship when you go to shul. Luke, you should go with the Chabad guy in the van into the remote parts of the outback looking for Jews. Yes, Outback Jews, terrific movie on Amazon. So I've saw a young nubile woman walking towards me today. I could see the contour of her camel toe a full block away, and my eyesight isn't that good. Oh, I'm sorry that you had to endure that, Elliot. I mean, that was like sexual harassment that you endured. You might have a claim. So I was seeing all the Muslims in full regalia gave me confidence that, hey, I can be a Jew here, wear my yarmulke out. So the first few days I did not wear a yarmulke out and about, but now the yarmulke's back on my head every day. Thanks to the Muzzies, they inspired me to my full Jewish observance. So I haven't received any negative feedback here, like they don't make Aussies racist and bigoted and prejudiced like they did when I was growing up here. Like this is the new multicultural Australia with lots of trans bathrooms or intersex bathrooms. Like that's huge here. They no longer give out fines at the library because it might discriminate against Aborigines. Like why aren't you in Perth protesting lockdowns with Syrian chick? I don't protest lockdowns. I don't have any major problem with Australia's lockdowns and other parts of its COVID policy. It seems like a coherent, cohesive society. You have to check in every time you go enter a store. So there's a New South Wales Safe app where you check in and check out, and you have to show proof of vaccination. Are there special cottaging stalls? No, I haven't noticed any cottaging going on. So I've done some pretty rigorous research. No cottaging going on here in Sydney. That may be something they do more in Melbourne. Oh, so I'm going 10-pin bowling tonight. There's some blokes from Shaw. So not sure there'll be a lot of Torah study. I don't think I've been 10-pin bowling since about 20 years. I think I've only done it once in my life. So maybe I'll go into YouTube, look up some tips for 10-pin bowling. Right, got any? Do you call it 10-pin bowling? Because we've got a lot of lawn bowls here in Sydney. I notice everyone's like got their lawn bowls, like lawn bowl clubs. Like there are about 3 lawn bowl clubs near here, but they don't call. So bowling is 10-pin bowling. So what do you call bowling in the States? Did it recently. It's harder than it seems. Yeah, but it seems like a good way for blokes to get together and have some laughs. So it's nice blokey society. I feel quite comfortable here. A good place for an average bloke such as 40. What are the other differences? Oh, they've cut down synagogue services. Oh, it's just called bowling in the States. Yeah, that's what I thought. So lawn bowls, not much of a thing in the States. I remember lawn bowls in the States. Am I missing something? But there are like 3 lawn bowl clubs within a kilometre of here, or 2 kilometres from here. So they've cut down on the service. So it basically starts with the Torah reading and then moves off. So I think that's a nod to dealing with COVID. That's the road less taken. A shorts regulation uniform for postmen. Yeah, like everyone wears shorts. Like they're dress shorts. So bank managers wear shorts, but they're dress shorts. They're very classy shorts. So what are the other differences? So huge South African Jewish community here. Probably half the Jews I met have been South African. It's fun to play Jewish geography. We know a lot of the same people in Los Angeles, South African origins. Oh, and we do a prayer every week on Shabbos morning for the state of Australia, and we pray that the state of Australia, manages to keep its racism under control. So we now have a prayer against racism. Need to walk around University of Sydney to scope out the Sheilas. I did walk around the University of Sydney, and didn't see many. I also walked around Avondale University, didn't see any students. So I think maybe school's out. School's out at the moment. Right, I got to get ready for my 10-pin bowls.